Oh, it has been a difficult and stressful week. Not all out of bad things. I appreciate everybody's patience. I'm starting late today because I was taking part in a 48-hour film festival competition. I do not think that our actual film is likely to be relevant to the competition part, but it's still a fascinating challenge to try to make a short film in 48 hours. And they do mean it. It was from 7 o'clock local time on Friday evening until 7 o'clock local time today it's supposed to be sent in. Fortunately, I was not in charge of the actual final delivery, but I was working on some things that were a little bit past last minute, and it's just... I spent a lot of the last week a little bit obsessed with Tunic. I'm now looking forward to finishing this game so I can stop thinking about it quite so much. I was walking around a lot in the game without trying not to do anything important, trying not to do anything relevant, just seeing if I could figure out what locations clues were referring to, and I did a great deal of homework. Mostly, of course, initially in translating those last few pages that we found last time from the instruction book. But as is often the case with these, those tended to themselves lead to other secrets, other puzzles, other things that needed doing. At the moment, I'm starting with a great deal more talk than I usually do, simply because I am a little addled from all of the things we've been doing and sort of trying to decompress a little bit before going directly into the actual game. I can see that there are a few of you out there quietly. I hope you have had a lovely week, and will have a lovely week in the week coming afterwards. Well, I suppose that is enough faffless faffing about. Let us head towards the game. I'll be starting off with a good deal of just gathering things that have become, if not obvious, at least reasonably clear. And... there we go. One thing that never changes, and I'm glad it doesn't change, the fox remains ridiculously adorable. Look at him go wag, wag, wag. There's a few things to do in the daylight world. Notably, for example, just a treasure chest that I left behind, that I relocated looking around in the atoll. The atoll is essentially inaccessible under the moonlight, as the game has been saying. They all started it. I didn't come here for a fight. I don't think any of them can use this thing anyway. What a shock it would be to them if they did. Actually, let's start here, because I think there was a treasure here. Oh, Pixie! Welcome! Ah, yes, there's a bunch of this. This was actually hinted at. Here. Turns out a lot of the little bit of scribblings with the pen is this. Ah, Digglemage, welcome! Thank you for joining us. Happy Sunday to you too. I do not think you were both here when I was chattering away earlier, but I was going to be collecting a lot of stuff that I did a great deal of homework on. Shiba face. And now back to the atoll. Audio okay for everybody? You can hear me clearly? This is not the atoll. Sunny, welcome! This is the atoll. That place, last place, was not the right place atoll. Through to run goes the... Oh. Are we running foolishly? I can do that too. Look. Open, says me. Oh, little fox bank. Ooh. It's a little weird to me sometimes how just seemingly dangerous the little fox has gotten just over the gameplay. Oh, fishies! Look, they've got fish. Fish, fish, fish. I'm fishing for fish. Okay. I found a thwomp that's going to bite its tongue. Well, alright then. They actual hooks on their tongues. That's interesting. They always burst too quickly for me to figure that out before. So many notes. This happens every time. Maybe I should start leaving some of them alive so they can go tell their friends not to mess with the fox. Now this is... Ah, Belial, welcome! Now this is an interesting puzzle. I don't know if I've actually figured this out properly. But according to the clues in here... On the atoll, I think that part says, yes. Notice this notation. It implies that certain patterns of music notes generated here are supposed to be a clue, supposed to be a secret. Now I will attempt to cast this spell and see if I have the slightest idea what I'm doing. Aha! It appears that I do. What do we have here? An up arrow. Well, that's handy. Well, all right then. Now, the next thing to try is here. And I have to say, I was impressed how this particular clue was a masterclass of hidden in plain sight. Look, this is this place. And it has a golden treasure. With little dots here, forming a path. And there it is. And their only nod to subtlety is the one in here is a normal looking treasure. And this is not a normal treasure. It's a golden coffee, and these treasures, the golden trophies are exceedingly odd. I'd rather have a real coffee and biscuits. Oh wait, gold can be exchanged for goods and services. Perhaps I can sell the golden coffee and biscuits for some real coffee and biscuits. The next one that I think I know how to find in the library, which is in the cathedral, which is in the burial grounds, which is extremely haunted. And it's even more haunted in the daytime. Is a strange phrase. Not by ghosts exactly. I kind of miss all those fox spirits to chat to. But there's these tall crow-like gentlemen who remind me very much of characters from Death's Door. They are very heavily armed with a gun that they're a terrible shot with, so I'm just going to ignore him. But still, it's an extremely dangerous thing if you actually get hit with it. I guess the general advice there is, if you see any heavily armed crows in trench coats, leave them alone. Where'd you go? There. Absolutely unnecessary hostility. Oh yes, I need to go around to get up in there. Oh yes, it is this way. Good. I'm afraid I'm about to go against my own advice vis-a-vis trench-coated, heavily armed crows. They are quite tough. Oh. Now. This page here. The entry for number 6 says... I don't recall it exactly verbatim, but it said that in the library there is a double secret. And, I don't know if any of the rest of you are quite this old school, but the art that's used here with the graph paper and the styling, this looks exactly like the very old school Dungeons and Dragons books. That's how the maps looked, although those were usually top-down rather than side-on as these are. So trying to figure out what the secrets might be, I opened a door. Wasn't expecting it. And indeed, there is a treasure. Another little bank. But I think... Ah! Ha ha ha! Double secret! Double secret. All the way across the sky. I don't know what's down here, other than there is supposed to be some form of treasure. And a bunch of spookiness. Oh. I might have to come back at night. Well, yeah, there you go. All of that. I'm going to have to come back here. Oh well. This because there is also some mention of a moonlight bridge, you see. Yes, books of grid paper and pencils. Strange how nostalgic such things can be. To this day, I get a little bit of joy from just seeing the pads of this paper in office supply stores and whatnot. Oh well. Tough is relative, of course. I must confess, I did accidentally collect one of the major treasures while I was looking around this week. I hadn't intended to. I shall do my penance by returning to the spot and showing you where it was, because it was in this area. So irksome. Those guys are a bit harder here. It is here. Notice that there are a few skulls, which they looked red at night, but brass in the daylight. Do you mind? I was talking to some people. Anyway, there's 4 of them, which was the clue here. That one was not easy to figure out. Just skull time 4. I assure you, there are more than 4 skulls here. There shouldn't be. That's a very inefficient burying ground, but there's lots of more. But there are 4 brass ones. Knocked one down here, might have gone in. One there, and one hidden behind there. Oh, come on. Must we? Are you quite done? Anyway, it opened this. And there was one of those golden treasures, and the golden treasure was, well, those 4 skulls stuck together. And the achievement for it just said it was a group of pals. So, make of that what you will. Little brass skull pals. See what I mean about terrible shots? I suppose they weren't trained on targets designed to resemble teleporting foxes, though. Can't hold that against them. I don't think most people think of that. Actually, here was one of the remaining fairy spots. And this one's going to be hard to decipher. I know this is one of the places because the swirly and localized behavior of the Seeker spell. I need to figure out what the actual path is, and it's what's being projected and reflected on the walls there. Now, for those of you who were here before, one of the things I was looking for, and you probably saw me look, was caustic light, which is what they said the purple stuff is. It's light that burns. Well, it turns out that somebody at Finji has been mustache-twirlingly villainous about this, because it turns out that one of the more obscure uses of the word caustic as a noun is a reflection from a surface. They didn't mean caustic light, they meant a light caustic. This one. Yes, very grumpy about that. And now I'm trying to sketch this out to see if I can figure out what it actually says. Okay. I think I've figured out what the... managed to map something that's at least reasonable for the shiny thing. Unfortunately, it could mean any number of things, because that can be reflected and rotated, so I'm going to have a try a few. Or I'll just nail it the first time. Okay, yeah, I'm okay with that. I did not expect it. I swear I hadn't done this one. I didn't expect the first guess to be right. Hello. Check the checklist. It's 48. Yes. Yes, that was 100% caustic light. That is what they meant. Oh, man. It's not nice. Not nice at all. Lol, 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 indeed. Didn't realize I had to bring that level of obscure nonsense to bear. I mean, there were not even clues mentioning that usage. I looked it up on Wiktionary when I remembered. Now, haven't I heard that having something to do with reflections way back when? And yeah, it was. Just absolutely McNasty. That's what that was. Actually, I've been dying to try something here. Yes, there's this chest over here that has been happily taunting me since the game began. And while I was studying these, my attention was drawn to a little dotted line there. Seemingly from a wall over here. So, is there like some sort of opening in this? No, not that I can tell here. So what does this mean? Here's it again. Right there. Not really sure where else that could be going into. There've certainly been extremely random spots out here that opened into doors, but most of them up till now have opened via the same button that does the teleport thing now. I can't see what else that might mean right now. Ah, Matthew, welcome! How is everyone doing tonight? I'll have to come back to that one later. I do not know what that dotted line is supposed to be about. Ah, well then welcome. I hope you can take it easy here, and I know that feel. Before most folk of you arrived, I was telling the stream that I'd participated in the Run and Gun Festival, the 48-hour filmmaking. And that's why I was starting late, because I had intended to contribute to something. Found this when exploring, but waited till now to take it. And here's another mustache twirling moment. So look, I found the secret in here, right? No, I didn't. Or rather, I did, but that wasn't it. Even secret are out here. Apparently this is the patrol one. I don't know where any of this is supposed to actually start. Ah, there, because diagonal is not legal. Like watching a very weird chess game. Okay then, let's see if that works. Don't mind if I do. And... Yep, that was the patrol one. That leaves only 2 fairies here. West Garden and the East Forest. Well. One moment, please. Going in here, but I need to pop up another bit-o software. And what bit of software is that, you might wonder? Why, it's Photoshop! Specifically, it's the Photoshop where I was going around using screenshots of the pieces of shattered golden monolith I found to see if I could piece together the thing in the East Forest that I think is a fairy. Piece together the answer to the shattered golden monolith there. Well, what would be a better way to do it? I suppose you have more experience assembling golden monoliths than I do? Oh, that way. Whee! Clunk. Oh, yes, that's true. Well, we all have to have our specializations. I was pretty much stuck with gold as soon as it turned out this was the one that came with the fox. Now, is it this way or is it inside? It was the other way. Okay. Well, there's something interesting here I'm going to try too, shortly. Well, the ability to involve oneself with the golden paths and the monoliths and so on and so forth. It's very much tied to this fox. Certainly came with the purchase. I've racked up a good deal of time in this game now. It's a little under 30 hours. And it occurs to me that from the perspective of all those monsters, this little fox became very, very powerful very, very quickly. Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? Excuse me. Now, let's see if I figured this one out. So far, it's been a good night for did I figure this one out. Real good night for did I figure this one out. And yes, it was a fairy, and yes, it was the second East Forest fairy. First one was that dancing one. Now, the last one is a real confusion. somewhere. There's supposed to be a cave with this... Oh, spiders. Lots of caves with spiders, but there's supposed to be a cave with a... this moving cube in it of some kind? I don't know. It's the one thing I have been absolutely unable to find. I don't think that spot is in East Forest, but then again, I have searched and searched and searched everywhere I can think of in the overworld. Let's have a look at something else first. Oh, I've been trying the Seeking spell constantly. Unfortunately, if you're not actually on the map pretty close to wherever something is, or indeed in the room with it, the Seeking spell doesn't tell you anything. At least it doesn't seem to tell me anything. So... this is the back page of the instruction book. Counting is page 53. Let me see. I'll read it. I'll read the exact thing to you. One moment. Oh, it's probably... I probably can't do it right now. I'll probably come back at night. Let me see. Where was I looking for? That is... here we go. Just checking my notes with the translated pictures. That I translated, to be clear. So, this... sticker on the back, that seems to be nothing but an irrelevant decoration. Are we seeing backstage? Not yet. We might after this one, actually. Because around this fox sticker, it says, "Under the moon, contemplate this prayer. Near an ancient tomb, plundered for its blade, lies a special place. Up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right." But it does say under the moon, which means we cannot do it right now, to come back at night. It's certainly the cover for the Fox's greatest work so far. Actually, I'll look around in here just a little bit more and see if there's any sign of that spot that I was thinking of. I don't know what that guy is guarding at all. I'm very hard to catch, aren't I? Goodbye! Yes. A couple of other treasures up here from long earlier. Very good. You really want to go, don't you? Well, hope you enjoyed that. Way back when, this was the spot that went toe, tiptoe, stab. But it hardly seems necessary anymore. It's quite understandable. This is, if not one of the earliest places in the game. And I am, shall we say, moved a little beyond that sort of thing. There was a fox spirit up here that danced this chest open for me. Oh. Set as in studio, not set as in collection. This is the same problem I had with Caustic. Why did he do that? Just made that motion at the bottom there. I don't know what that was about. Ah, well, anyway. I know there's a few things yet to do. But they must be done at night. Ow. What do you think, chat? Should we try the Cathedral or the East Forest secret next? Because the one with the East Forest is certainly the most curious. I don't know what that's going to be. It's not supposed to be one of the treasures of the fairies, just another thing. Did kind of talk it up there, didn't I? Very well. In the absence of countervailing opinions, we'll go to the forest. He doesn't even turn into a ghost going through there anymore. Such a strong little fox. For some reason the tomb is now surrounded by scavengers. I don't know what they're here for. Anyway, under moonlight, and I know it means this one. Contemplate this prayer near an ancient tomb plundered for its blade, which is this one, because this is where you get the sword. So let me see. Oh. That is one of the golden treasures, or at least that's the kind of chest it usually has. 1 bit! Hooray! Bit of the old mustache twirling in that one too, I feel. Now, gentle listeners, we have a new question. Was that, in fact, the secret? Or am I supposed to do that in a couple of other places, and that was just trolling? Like, what happens if I do it here? Absolutely nothing. Interesting. I wonder if that will have some other effect, or if that truly was the entire extent of the trolling reward. 1 bit! I found a bit. Just have that extra line, lies a special place. Ah well, back to the cathedral. At least the monsters are a little easier to deal with at night. You make wrong turns very fast doing it this way. Do not like it when they nibble off chunks of my actual maximum health. Absolutely not acceptable behavior, even for wild blackbirds. I am not a small bit of bread or a lost seed or somebody's spoon. Let us Naruto run through the dark. And this time, there is a bridge, okay. But the bridge blocks access to that thing. Most interesting. Are you the answer to this issue? Let's find out. Oh, that's interesting. Yes, your mother is a bridge and your father smelt of carefully set concrete. Hmm. Oh. Interesting. Don't seem to be able to make this one work. I wonder what it means. I mean, I tried it from over here, but it didn't do anything then. Well, you gotta let him, otherwise he'll kick your buttress. Oh, perhaps that is the issue. Alright, let's try this. That was the problem. I thought that mark in the middle was the starting point. It was not a starting point. Aha! Where am I exactly? Is this the... Oh, what's that? That was what I thought. Ah, so now we have to come back. Again. During the day. And walking around that way. I'd say this treasure better be worth it, but it's going to be one of those extremely strange, just golden things. But we basically know it's not. Oh. Running out of notes. The monolith was correct? One of the golden treasures, which is supposed to lead to some other interesting situations, is specifically contingent on finding all the fairies, which means finding where Cube is. And I am stumped on that one. I have looked and looked. I've looked and I've looked till my looker was sore. Different about this place at night? Doesn't seem like it. Ugh. It's mean. Oh. Would it? This one here has the dotted notation. It has the arrow. This is the dotted notation, but does not have the arrow. I wonder if it's supposed to go in there. Isn't that the store? Remains of the shop as was? I feel a little smug about figuring this one out. That's the shop, all right. Some sort of passage through there? Any sign of such a passage? It's not the first time I've poked these walls. No, just a funny little graphical effect. Well, let us return to the day. Had something potentially interesting under the well as well. Well. But I don't know if it's going to matter. Still. Extremely weird having to deal with the potential enmity of very angry party balloons. Another one of those "it's been mocking me" chests. This could be absolutely nothing, but I've noticed that seems to be a likelihood that when there's a square like that, a pattern like that, that might represent a button. Ah! Ha ha ha! What's here? Oh. Cool. And the path to the other one. Aha! That'll be useful. I thought it might have been the last coin. Excuse me. I always thought they looked a bit more coppery, to be honest, but yeah. There's gold in them large chests. Funny that. I wonder if there's any chance that the cube thing is down here. Giving this place a search, but... Yes, the old prospector laugh. Incidentally, it's not a secret or anything, but just another adorable attention to detail I notice in this game. When he's praying, the sound that it makes keeps in harmony with the music in the environment. It is particularly noticeable in here. In these places in general. Just listen to that go. Anyway, I don't think it does anything other than sound neat. I was going to look at farewell. One right over here. Yes, there is. "15 wishes. And I think that might be all of them in the game. Certainly popped up an achievement. Oh good, that makes them a little faster. That'll be helpful. I have been so stumped. I've been so stumped about some of these issues over the last week that I even went so far as to join the Finji Discord. Seems like quite a nice place, actually. Rather pleasant community, and I had quite forgotten that publishers of quite a few good games. Chicory and Night in the Woods are particular standouts in my opinion. Good studio. And the channels that they have there for Tunic specifically is interesting. Because they have a Tunic General and a Tunic Spoilers and a Tunic Deep Spoilers, because apparently this game is just like that. Aww. The ending is really sweet. There's an interesting bit of AI. You shouldn't have heard the fox do something. There was just an explosion behind him of detonating slorm, like you do. If you do not tell them that, Sunny, I may have to. Because I think that would be regarded as a truly enormous compliment. Oh. Cool. I don't really know what most of those do. I do remember that was an emotional moment in that game. Did not come here to play patty cake with tentacles. Or without tentacles for that matter, but that version didn't come up yet. The kitty? Or kitty? It's definitely one of those games that takes Search Every Waterfall to heart. And I'd missed that one before. Still, it does seem... does seem unlikely I'll be able to find a missing space in here. Although, in fairness, I did find that room that I hadn't noticed before, so it's not impossible. Oh, what's this? Another space, another welcome treasure? Yes, well, actually the tiny cute fox doing a lot of concerning large muscular man things in a really traditional kind of way, but he's doing them very well. There's always this tiny cute fox thing. He's still doing that. Yes, this is definitely a tiny cute fox that will do the flexing. Huh. Oh! I just spent a moment accidentally confusing the loading zones. Anyway, yes, I was saying I had joined the Finny Discord. Nice place, I think I can reasonably recommend it. And there I asked them for a fragment of a hint. And the only fragment of a hint they gave me was they said that the Patrol Cube and Caustic Light fairies locations were all accessible from the regular overworld. That was the one piece of information I have gotten in any way other than literally just from Slorm than playing this. Sorry. Wag wag. And that is why I was, I didn't want tips from devs. There were probably tips from devs there, but there is a sizable community, and many of them have reached 100% completions in this game, so... The secrets are known, but I specifically asked for only a fragment of a clue. I didn't want anyone to just tell me, well, the cube is there, as there will come a point, and we are not far away from it, where I probably will go. For the love of all that's holy, and the little waggy fox, please tell me where the cube is. But, oh no, I'm with this game, especially more than any I've played, Chrissy, I am actively avoiding that. Every secret in this game, well, everything I've uncovered or figured out how to do, everything that I've spent much of this stream up until now going around collecting things that I thought I'd figured out where they were, and so far so good. I don't think I missed on any of them, did I? Anyway, this is... I have not pushed this button yet. I don't know if anything interesting will happen. I do not have all the fairies. I have almost all the fairies. I'm only one short. Souls returned, 19. Supposedly, and honestly, when I say supposedly, I mean because... What? Where are we? There's the page that has that. Oh, this one. This is the page that has the clues for what other pages you might find information about finding the golden treasures on. And in those cases, it's because the supposed owner wrote them in pen, and in this case, it's just that. And that is the reason that I believe that interacting with this, once I have all of the fairies, will result in a golden treasure. But as satisfying as it has been, I have now consumed everything I've figured out since the last stream. The other end of the well, I think? Yeah. Oh. Am I supposed to do that? I don't think I'm supposed to do that. Makes me want to do it more. Anything interesting here? Ah, well. Indeed, yes. Missed what you said there, Chrissy. That is how I know it's a great game. Hi, guys. Interesting to me that the instruction manual claims there's a boss here, but there isn't. The implication is that the boss already died and his treasure was stolen. Hello! Goodbye. If the devs are going to be a troll, I too shall troll. Yep, gave him the old hello, goodbye. I will not easily top last week's In the Name of the Father, the Son, and the Gosh, Nins isn't here. I hope they're okay. Brighter in here during the day, but no sign of any further secrets. Passages. Wow! Quite at a loss. The moment I'm clutching at straws, or paws as the case may be. If any of you have any suggestions on how to interpret that dotted line, I am open to them. Well, it certainly does seem to be underground, but from where? I mean, this one was straightforward. This one doesn't seem to show where the rest of that dotted line might be. Yes, the dotted line either means you can drive over it but only to pass, or sometimes it means a weaker such as hydrogen bond. I don't think those are going to be terribly relevant in this case. This was one of the first secrets I figured out. This was one of the treasures. It was Mr. Mayor. As Matthew put it, the mayor of town, which most towns do that. But that's what this appeared to mean here. The dotted line indicating that there is a passage. I go through this area. And then the pen mark indicating there is a secret full of mayor. Are there any other mist dotted line? Well, just taking directly, it looks like it goes there, but that doesn't... That's pretty clearly a wall. Staple. spot's a lot less pleasant at night. Well, let's go tonight and at least get that one thing from the cathedral that's still there. Another frustrating thing implies that one of those there, 51 to 1. 51 is this, where it says to dip something in water for a while, and there's a Jubilee star on it. But there is no page 1. The numbering starts on 3. It's 2, which means the front cover is missing. Oh yes, this is not a game where you can achieve endings by just smacking things. Oh, I did that wrong, didn't I? We had to return to the cathedral during the day when the moon bridge is not there. Well, glad I didn't go far. That would have been exceedingly frustrating. I don't know if I mentioned on stream before, but the translated lore in the book says that the strange orb is actually some sort of portal for an unquiet being from another dimension, and that's like a tentacle that comes through a website. It's Lovecraft's hookshot is what it is. Which is just has nothing to do with anything else and is just so randomly twisted of a thing to put in this. Ah. Now, indeed, the orb. Now, if memory serves, you can just stay up there and play with your gun. I think this involved going here? Yes. Oh. Actual statue of the little fox. Well, that's worth having. Well, I'll hand them that. They made the most annoying treasure to get. Cute one. No, I remain stumped. What do you think, chat? I think I might actually have to look something up. It's the location of wherever the cube cave is. It's so hard to find a single piece of information, though. Easy to find that sort of thing riddled with a... Oh, do you? Huh. Well, I suppose since I'm playing on stream with people who have kindly joined in, that would be much less giving up flavored. Can you give me a shred of a hint, a third or a half of a hint? I would really appreciate that. Because it's the last one and I have really been struggling. I have spent hours hunting down caves and rooms. I accept that possibility. Really? Well, it said nothing. It's not like I wasn't using it before. I used it a lot. Well, they're flowing in a coherent direction at the moment, which is not something they've ever done before. Oh, well, something's here. I mean, if that's enough of a clue, I'll take it. But I spent a lot of time trying to get into those and trying to get into... This sure looks like it should be a door, but it wasn't opening. Yeah. Plus, I think, aside from enjoying a little bit of the trolling by telling me to do that, I think Diggle is trying to preserve as much as possible of the purity of my playthrough, as requested. Ah, them too. Of course, their job is to point me to it. Well, I am mostly used to them just not doing anything useful if I wasn't quite close. And if I was quite close, they would just circle around the spot where the fairy is. That is consistent. That is consistent. Hmm. I've tried it before and got no luck doing that, but I shall try it again just to make absolutely certain. No. Oh. I'm not sure that was a good idea. I mean, I appreciated the sentiment, to be sure, but that sort of thing would just ruin your future enjoyment of the game, wouldn't it, Chrissy? I have an idea. I'm trying to remember how to go about implementing it. I'm not a fan of puzzles I can't figure out either. Just the vast majority of them are puzzles I can figure out, and this game is well crammed full of ones that are very satisfying to solve. I mean, even solving that caustic light one was quite satisfying, even if the puzzle itself was very trollish. That's interesting. Oh, you gave up. Okay. Now, there's a couple of waterfalls here that have a very long, strange passage under them. I did find that. Okay, I remember where one part is. I'll just go to that and see if I can make it work. I think that was less a hint that you just gave me as it was a sample of info hazard. Can't seem to get to it from here. Instincts? Fox instincts? What, stealing eggs? I found one egg. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Bonk, 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 bonk! Yes, well, I'm certain I did, but the fundamental difficulty with that is I say a great many things. And it's not that they're nonsense, necessarily, but I say a lot of them. I think this was the weird one that just went straight downstairs for some reason. No, I don't want to give up. It's just... out of all of this mystical equipment, there isn't a shovel. Or a pickaxe. At this point, I have words with this wall. I mean, talk about instincts, and my instincts say there's supposed to be a door behind there, but any of the ways that I've ever found to open a door do not work. Well, not that one. Upstairs. That's now I'm smacking my head on the wrong trees, but I mean this spot. Yes. The thing you seem to not have heard there is, if you mean this, I didn't discount this as saying, well, there could be... it feels like there could be a door there, but there isn't, but I have spent a bunch of time trying to figure out what on earth could be going on with this spot. Nothing here seems to be suggesting a key. Key? Key! freaking... Ah! E. Key. That thing is hard to follow. Key! Thing's hard to notate. There. Cube! Earned that one. With a little help from some friendly onlookers and a little bit of TNT. You know, a little bit of TNT TLC never hurts. That's the lot. Cube. Well, now I know what that looks like. Point taken. It's definitely time to pay a visit to the top of the waterfall, the top waterfall and the secret gathering place. Ow! That was very, very satisfying. And you know what? Maybe this belies parts of me that I shouldn't be proud of, but it feels like a tiny bit more satisfying that when it came right down to it, the ultimate answer, the thing that needed to be done, was just high explosives. Secret door! There's not a door there. There's gonna be. Must have taken a slight wrong turn. So many puzzles, so many solutions. Oh, I'm up too high. Yes, of course. Thoroughly taking the wrong arrow. So many puzzles, so many solutions, so many things to think about, and sometimes you just gotta light a stick of dynamite and hope for the best. Surprisingly festive sticks of dynamite, actually. Ah! And indeed. That's kind of nice. Spring Falls. I know that game. They are a taste explosion. Yes, well, I have to say, that is neither the first, and I expect the last, situation I've encountered in this that had a very strong feel of the dev was giggling when they added this. Oh. Only one remains, and that's the one that... solve yet. Well, well, well. What do we have here? Hello? This spot's different. There's a chance this place might get a little more interesting. I find that last one. The question now becomes... where is page 1? If any of you happen to be old enough to remember The Prisoner, where is number 1? I strongly suspect tossing explosives will not be the solution here. New eps? Is there a remake of The Prisoner? I hadn't heard. I was just thinking of the Patrick McGoohan one. Well... There is one next important thing we can do. We can climb the mountain. Excuse me one quick moment. Aha! No, I mean the actual TV series, The Prisoner, from the late 60s. But I think it might be time to climb the mountain and see if I can make the golden path work. Next, I need to remember how to do that. But I don't think it's difficult, I think it's just this way. Single file, please. No pushing. Plenty of sword for everybody. I brought lots of sword to share with the class. Golden Path puzzle. Very non-trivial. I think I worked it out. Don't know for sure. But, you know, tonight has been my night for figuring stuff out, so... One moment, please. Let me see if I can... something a little bit up out here for my... Which I freely admit it's Photoshop again. Nope, okay. Fine, fine, fine. Well, let us try this thing. And this time, no. No. I don't know if I typed it wrong or what. I will. I'm going to try to notate this a bit better. Yeah, I think that's a sensible thing for me to do. we'll see. It might be worth doing. I have not had any difficulties with the time limit issue to date. This is more like the drawn version of it that I've got is slightly confusing to look at. I'm gonna give it one more go directly. No, that wasn't it either. Now I'm wondering if I've got something wrong in the puzzle, although it all fit together. I mean, that makes me wonder what the time limit was. And no difficulties with this up until now, but this one is a lot longer than the others. Oh, I'm definitely not taking longer than 2 seconds between inputs. No, absolutely, that's not an issue. I don't understand. Maybe I do have an error in here somewhere. It's always the imprecision of the input. Let me try something slightly different. I must have an error in the solution. And that's going to take some thinking, because I'm not sure how that could be in this case. Worse, how do you check that sort of thing without comparing notes? Oh, that's very disappointing. Well, another quick thing to try here, I guess. Well, that is most disappointing. All the way to the most thing. That might be worth doing. That might be worth doing. Really am trying to finish here. Not in this case, because it's not a question of the solution. I am confident about how I went about finishing this, like actually solving the puzzle, but it would be useful to have somebody be able to check whether I've missed or added a cross mark somewhere where it was missing or shouldn't belong or something like that. I'm reasonably confident about these things, but the problem is, with any of these, normally the only way to check them is to make them work, and absolutely nothing happens if they don't. That's kind of why every single time I was getting one of the secrets to work tonight, I'm like, oh, it did work. Oh, hey, it did work. Wow, first try. Because there's no feedback. One moment, please. Are you there now, Diggle Mage? I'm just attempting to do an export. Of course, it'll work. It's very straightforward. Yes. That seems to have worked pretty well. Of course, I'm always worried about starting up a Discord. I usually shut it down while I'm doing this sort of thing because it likes to go bingle and bleep and various other video game-ish noises. And I do not wish it to do that at the moment. It's also a little bit hilarious that I seem to be climbing the distant mountains now to seek the advice of the mage. Of course, nobody there is named Diggle Mage. Oh, woe is me, alas and alack. Well, what else do I do with this? flail at it some more, I suppose. Time-honored tradition of flailing. Of course, then again, I'm only assuming the golden path is supposed to open this door. It seems very likely, but it's not a given. Oh, now, that is annoying. Well, this one... This one's the strangest one. This is the page that I had a very hard time interpreting. I still do. I thought it was as simple as just... thump thump. Go around the corner, but... maybe it's weirder here. I'm presuming there's not going to be outright cheating of any format, because they've been mustache-twirling villains a few times. But there's always been a solution, and it's always been possible to find the solution. And it's particularly hard to identify. This one might have the error. Huh. This one's very subtle. This one is not. I wonder if I should be doing this on stream. I guess I don't really care anymore. At this stage, there's nothing I could be doing that in this game that isn't spoilers on top of spoilers on top of spoilers on top of TNT on top of spoilers. It is, isn't it? Although I feel like this page is cheating. Because diegetically, presumably, this spill shouldn't have been printed on it, if you know what I mean? I have found possibly an error. Although it is incredibly difficult to see. Well. I suppose not as difficult to see as that, but, well, that's a whole other deal. Beg pardon for one quick moment. Going to a little notation to see if, and then see if I can see if that error that maybe there was in fact it. That means I have to allow the music to stop for a moment. So all or nothing. These aren't a mastermind game. No partial clues. Okay. That didn't help. Damn. I am stumped on this one. I looked very close on these, and that's the only spot that it seemed like there could have been an issue. Nope. I am stumped. Are you out there, oh Diggle? Don't know how to find you in the Tunic world. Stingy. Because I would take you up on the offer to check. Because at this point I have looked very closely, and I am reasonably certain that throwing a piece of TNT at this will not solve it. I agree about the manual being pretty. You can't hear me? Oh, did I get too far away? I am sorry. Hello, is that better? Oh dear. Is it better now? I have had a little bit of microphone trouble lately. No? Can anybody hear me out there? Am I alone? Oh, okay then. Well, in that case, I will repeat what I was saying. Thank you, Matthew. I would take you up on that offer now. I have worked very hard on that Golden Path puzzle, and I don't know where to look for an error. I found one possible candidate, but it didn't seem to help at all. Prefer to have done it entirely on my own, but if it's a choice between not do it entirely on my own or do it with a little bit of help, I guess the help makes more sense. Secret door! Mocking me all this time. All I had to do was throw something explosive at it. There you are. What's this? Gimme. It's a pepper. I never use those. Okay. It's very strange to have arrived at the lesson that says I should be blowing more things up. The one other thing I need to find is page 1. Need to find page 1. This is definitely being one of the weirder streams. No secret door this time. Where is page 1? Do I have to run around trying to destroy every wall? I always felt like the front cover page should be out here somewhere, but... Egg. Getting a bit kerboom crazy at this point. Well, I am running out of good ideas. I love that scary tunnel. In fact, I always thought I was never sure what was supposed to be so very scary about it other than some speed and then they're deliberately projecting things on the walls. It's like, oh, this is just a dark ride. Faintly different music. Well, I'd be willing to take Diggle Mage up on their offer. I don't know what else to do at this point. Looked very closely at the relevant clues. Only one spot that seems like it could have a possibility of being incorrect. Oh, one moment. Ah, yes. On this page, I thought it was just a path that went straight up and then straight to the left, but it is very difficult to tell what this is supposed to be about. This one is the least shaped like a path of everything else. But That supposition fit. That supposition fit the path. The rest of it. Gray colors. Quite a detailed scan. I think they used proper offset printing to make this. It's weird. I'm having all these puzzle difficulties and I haven't had to try to read the text in some time. .50 was the only one that seemed like it had a possible error in it. But either version of that didn't seem to help. It's all squiddy here. Oops, I didn't mean to walk into that again. I am starting to fade out a bit. Nine was definitely the strangest page to get results out of, but I am pretty confident with the results I got. Yep, I am definitely beginning to fade. Much as I would prefer to continue when I am out of ideas and I am getting very sleepy, I think I may have up. Because, this is much earlier than I would normally be going to bed, but I've gotten very little sleep the last couple of days because of the 48-hour movie. Don't regret any of it, but it certainly takes a toll. Well. I do think it might be time to switch out. Hello? Your phone here? Huh. No, the animation stopped. Oh, well. Wonderful. Alright, I have a request for everybody forever. I have a request for everybody forever. If the animation stops, please let me know. Because I can't actually see it going most of the time, and this time it just wasn't there, and it's supposed to be there. Yes, thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it very much. The clues were what I needed, but there is yet one clue yet to be needed. And oh dear, am I going to be able to... am I going to be able to make it all the way to the next Sunday's stream? Well, we shall see. It was certainly an interesting stream, wasn't it? Well, everybody take really good care of yourselves. Thank you so very much for being here. Good night.